Hello and welcome to Talkin Baseball. Time to check in on the overs, unders, which teams are on pace to do better and which teams are on pace to do worse. Let's do it. Hello and welcome to Talkin Baseball. It's episode 678 on June 21st. My name is Jimmy. I got Jake looking nice to my left. Trev looking nice on my screen. And producer BBD behind the dish. Enough into the season now that we're going to check out which teams are on pace to beat Vegas, which teams are on pace to get beat by Vegas, and not just Vegas, but us, because we made our choices as well. And this is a very wild year for this exercise because at this point in the season, we have basically almost a flipping of top dogs and bottom dogs. And Jake's going to tell you all about that.
Trevor, James, Davis, glad we got the full band back together. Last time Trev was in his travel grind, finishing his roadie. I had a nice little smirk on my face pre-show because you're saying what was different 2 weeks ago, and like the Giants weren't good, the Reds weren't good, and now they've been two of the hottest teams in baseball. So. Yeah, it's under over season a little bit, and we were wondering where we wanted to land the plane with this because, man, there's some hot teams in baseball right now that in this June where we were waiting for pivot points, and some of these teams, we've got a lot all incorrect right now, Trev, and I feel like last year we ended up end of the season pounding our chest a little bit. Like I felt like we went 5-2 on teams we all had the consensus over under on. And this year, the boys ain't looking so hot.
I'm kind of embarrassed of the sheet. Every time I look at it, I see something else. I'm like, oh, no, we really said that. Or mainly me. I'm looking at what I said. It's a tough one for me. For instance, I'll just give a spoiler alert right now. I just saw this, and it shocked me. I declared the NL West winners the Padres. They're not. They're 8.5 games back of the Arizona Diamondbacks.
A lot of ball left.
Yeah.
It's interesting, man. Yeah, I didn't look at all our consensus and then see what we did. I kind of just looked at mine because we were doing this a little bit yesterday on Baseball Today as we talked about some of these teams that have just come. I mean, honestly, yeah, come out of nowhere. Maybe the Giants didn't come out of nowhere, but the Cincinnati Reds surely did. I'm sorry. I don't, even if you're the biggest Reds fan going, there's no way you saw 10-game winning streak, all your prospects coming up and just balling out. So I don't know, man. I'm trying to convince myself that it wasn't just such a bad prediction for us.
Well, it's okay. Things have changed. I'm actually going to pull up what some of the standings were the last time we had the full band together, which was, I believe, was 2 weeks ago, which was the 7th of June. I'm going to pull it up, and Jake's going to tell you who it's brought to you by. Who do we got top billing?
It's brought to you by our presenting sponsor, SeatGeek.
Oh!
Because you can go see any of these teams play with SeatGeek. Cincinnati. I might have, it was getting late on Twitter last night. I may have committed myself to a trip to Cincinnati this year. And if I do that.
And me too.
Well, all right. Yeah. Actually, I did like someone in the replies said, you're out on the Viking helmet. You can't come, bro. And that's
fine.
That's kind of fair. That's kind of fair.
No offense. I've been to Cincinnati.
Okay.
Go
to SeatGeek. Get yourself some ticks. Go see any and all of these baseball teams, or go to concerts, festival, whatever. And with code Talkin, no G on the end, you know that, $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. $20 off your first purchase with SeatGeek. Download the app. It's so easy to use. A Jake can use it. So,
well, in the 2 weeks, the AL East has stayed in the exact same order. The AL Central has stayed in the exact same order. The AL West, the Angels jumped the Astros in the last 2 weeks. I think the NL is where things get a little more fun because you have, let's see. Philly jumped the Mets in the NL East. In the NL Central, Cincy jumped Pittsburgh and Milwaukee, and the Cubs jumped Pittsburgh, and the Cardinals are still in last. And in the NL West, the Giants jumped the Dodgers while the Diamondbacks maintained first place. So, yeah, the NL is a little bit more exciting. So, lots happened. It's a good point. We'll probably do this now. We'll probably do this in maybe like August. Do twice check-ins on this and how we're doing. And, yeah, like you guys said, it's tough because there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 teams that the three of us all agreed on, and we are currently on pace to be wrong. Now, out of those 9, I think we're gonna get 3, maybe 2, 3 back.
Could get a couple flops,
but we're still gonna be all wrong on a lot, which I don't know how many we were all wrong on last year.
We were pretty good on that, if I remember correctly. I got a question for you, a general question on the baseball season before we kind of like get into this and talk about some of these teams, James. Do you think that the rule changes have greatly impacted like the way teams are going to construct their rosters going forward? I mean, that's what it kind of seems to me around the league. Like you want runners on your team and athletes on your team. And that's kind of what we as baseball was trying to do, was get more athleticism back into the game. Is that like, did it happen?
I believe so. I think the age of not having defenders is going to hurt a lot, as my Yankees are struggling with that immensely. I would like to go see kind of outs above average by team and see if there's any correlation, because I really don't know if there is. The Giants, the Rangers are both they're just blanketed outs above average. They are 3 and 4, but you also have the Royals way up there. Their defense is big. Base running as well, though, like just creating havoc in action. It does seem to be playing, but I think you're going to look more towards pitching. I think, as we've seen some pitchers really struggle with, one, not having the shift benefit them, not being able to get a guy to hit it in this spot. Like Manoah got a guy to hit it in that spot a lot. And the Blue Jays use the defensive shifts a ton.
Sandy right now hurting too, just so Blue Jay fans don't think it's an attack. There's a lot of pitchers.
Yeah, but the Blue Jays just use that because they shifted the most last year out of any team. But getting pitchers that, one, can do the stamina, which I think will be fine, because to become a major leaguer in the next 5 years, you'll be doing this in the minor league. So that's just going to correct itself. But yeah, getting guys that induce or can get softer contact or strikeouts. I think strikeouts are more up because of this, because that's how you combat. You can't pitch to the shift.
Are strikeouts up?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're trying to figure that out, but yeah, I think get more athletic for sure, which is a great thing to say if you're a professional sport. Hey, let's make the rules so we get better athletes.
And
seems like that.
Trev, I know we talked about this a little bit, and it's been my fake analytic binder, but if you search the top pitching teams and the top hitting teams this year, and you just look at the top 10, the top hitting teams are a lot more impressive this season than the pitching, and I'm interested to see how that plays out the rest of the season, and I'm interested to see how that plays out in the playoffs, because I think, traditionally you lay out that playoff roster and you see a team with 3 horses at the top of the rotation versus a team with maybe 1.5 guys as starting pitchers, but a full lineup. Traditionally, as a baseball fan, you want that horse, and I just wonder if that's a 162 regular season thing or if that's playoffs too. But right now, if you can bang, you're winning games.
I know, and it's we always talk about if you hit. Well, it's not we always talk about it statistically. If you hit more homers than the team you're playing in the playoffs, you're going to win that series. I wonder if that's going to carry over. If it's going to be different this year. But the game has changed. Like the way the game has changed and the way that these rosters are going to be constructed is going to be different going forward. And I mean, I guess I didn't see that coming before the season as drastically as it has. Maybe some front offices did, like the Rays, like the D-backs, like maybe they saw it and we didn't. Or at least I didn't.
I do want to go look at that article that said these starting pitchers may struggle with the shift changes because Sandy and Manoah were like top 2, and they're both struggling. And I wonder if that article was spot on. Maybe I'll pull that up for after we get through this over-unders a little and just check the names on the list. Where do you guys want to start? You want to start with the ones we're all on and wrong? Do you want to start with the drastic, like, wow, that's a really big surprise, or the questionable ones? Anyone got an opinion on where to start?
I got a lot of bad ones, so that's kind of going to be like the main theme for my picks is, man, I miss some of these teams. I mean, the one at the top is hilarious. I mean, you saw we got the Diamondbacks here at 74.5. Jake did his classic happy hedge where he said, if they go over, I'm happy. If they go under, I win money. So I don't know if you can do that anymore because it's a win-win for you.
Yeah, no, I don't want to defend myself. I will say, if I do that on half the board, that's problematic. Like, oh, but if these Reds kick in, that's pretty cool, huh? Like, no, Snakes were the only one I laid that out there. And I'll be honest, like I laid it out in the TPP. I didn't think they needed to have a great year for this year to be successful because there's so many young guys. And that's going to be one of the overarching things of this episode. And we talked about a little bit on the Reds last time. Like, the Cincinnati Reds, I think, have 6 rookies in their lineup that are like 120 OPS plus. Guess what? I didn't know that. You love a good guess what. And, with my Snakes, did I think Corbin Carroll would be a top 3 MVP guy? No, I thought he'd be pretty good. Did I think they'd be getting some of the contributions up and down the lineup they're getting? Absolutely not. So, and that goes to the tune of the rest of the NL West and your division-winning Padres. That, yeah, I'll eat it on the Snakes and happily throughout. The other 29, which I'm not doing fantastic on, none of us are, I won't happily eat.
Diamondbacks are one of my 3 lone wolves. I like that Dalton included that. I'm the only one that it's one of my lone wolf corrects as of now. They're on pace to win 96 games. Their over-under was 74.5. It seems like that one's...
They're one of the safest locks.
Yeah, seems like that one's going to hit. So good job by the Diamondbacks. I did just count last year's, and last year collectively there were 9 teams that all of us agreed on that we were wrong. So that's exactly what we have this year. So maybe we weren't that good last year.
Is that right?
Oh.
Yeah, I just did it. Last year, we were all on the Blue Jays hitting the over, and they went under. Or you know what? This was September 27th, the last time we did this, so the last 3 days might have changed it. But on September 27th, there was 9 we all agreed on that were wrong. White Sox, we all agreed over. They hit the under. Brewers, we all agreed over. They were under. Reds, we all agreed under. They went over. Giants, Twins, Angels, D-backs, Orioles. So maybe we didn't do that hot last year. Maybe it was the year before we did hot.
Interesting. We're like a good hitter. We forget what we did.
Yeah, you don't remember the negatives.
Past.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, are you and Aaron Boone okay, Jake? Did you guys?
We're good. We're good. I think people, especially on the social media, I think they read too much into they kind of thought he hit me with the ball, like you don't play baseball, so you don't know. He was more so saying, like, in the manager's seat, like, if you do that decision, like, I would love for you to feel the aftermath of that. I don't think he was chopping me down there. I think you were a little ignorant coming into Instagram as hot as you did.
Oh, wow. What did Trev
because,
say?
Trev, how often do we talk? We don't want robots. We want real managers, right? And guess what? The right baseball move for the right team is to leave the infield back because you're the home team and you get 2 at-bats. But when you're managing a historically bad offense at the time, you might have to be a little more aggressive.
What did Trev say on Instagram?
Trev's against me. He said Boone's right. He's just trying to get follows up because Instagram's horrible. Go on, Trev.
This is not for this episode. This is an over-under check-in.
So you don't have
we
a
can
counter.
talk managerial strategy maybe on the Monday app or
Perfect.
something like that, okay?
Perfect. Good.
You were
counter.
wrong. It's a bad hill to die on.
Not dying
really
on
bad.
it. It's a discussion.
How are we going to do this app? Because we're not doing it right now.
Let's go on the ones we all agreed on, because that's going to be the kind of like we were riding chalk and
Let's get
we're
off last
wrong.
year. We're here.
Yeah. Cincinnati Reds. Obviously, they just won a ton. They were at 63.5. They're on pace for 85. They're going to beat 63 because they're already at basically 40 wins. And Votto's return was cool.
Yes.
They got momentum. I don't know how many wins they're going to get. I hope they continue to. The Astros sweep is really nice because that's a good team
Reds,
that's struggling.
The Reds are
on the road.
interesting because like we have all these rookies coming up, so I don't mind missing on this one because we talked about this on Baseball Today, Jake and I yesterday. Like you can't expect 6 dudes to come up and have banner seasons. It just doesn't happen that often. So I'm okay with missing on this one. They are going to beat 63.5. I am a little bit worried about this team as hot as they are right now. I mean, where are all the starting pitchers going to come from? Like Hunter Green just went on the IL. Nick Lodolo's on the IL. Ashcraft, I think, is he just getting back or something? Like there's a lot of injuries and underperformances from their starting pitching. Now they got another guy coming up, Abbott, who has been absolutely lights out. I think he's pitching today as we record this episode. But you got to have starters, and they don't really have starters right now.
Trev, you have an old baseball mind. Because another team we have a consensus on was the Baltimore Orioles, because their over-under was 76.5. They're on pace to clear 100 wins still. And guess what? They have a similar formula to the Cincinnati Reds right now. The offense can bang, and the bullpen is great. So we get caught up in the starting pitching. And when you get a good effort from your starting pitching, that's always going to be great. But when you have a bullpen that can make those final 4 innings shut down and your offense gives you a chance every inning, that's the current formula, and those two teams have it.
Yeah, I think maybe
The Orioles starting pitching is
brain.
No, the Orioles starting pitching is a step above the Reds starting pitching, especially with the health of the starting pitching of the Orioles, the innings they're going to throw. It's different.
It's true. My old joke was in our manager fight.
That was messed up.
That was messed up.
Wow.
I have a baseball brain.
Happy birthday.
Very, very
He
good
did say you had a baseball brain. He just said it was old.
It's just really old.
Yeah.
A year older.
Sexy is another word you can use.
June 15th.
Yeah, you look hot in sidelines when they were just sitting there, chilling with your sunglasses on. You knew.
Thank you. Yeah.
It was apparent you knew. You knew they were going to show you.
Of what?
You knew that they were going to show you sitting there on the broadcast and talk about how sexy you were.
I did not know.
Yeah, okay.
I did not know that. Just FYI. Let's keep going.
The only thing about the Reds, and I say this about all rookies ever, so it's not a knock, it's like, let's see all these guys get through twice, because you're right. We have so many rookies overperforming. Some will continue to overperform. Some will have a bounce back when you start seeing teams in leagues twice and the scouting reports start getting better. But a win streak like this, I think they're going to hit the over, obviously. What's another team? We have the Guardians.
Yeah.
86.5. We all took the over because we just thought the division was awful, or they just win, I think.
They have a very young team that really performed last year. When we got into TPPs, we kind of got in there and we're like, whoa, like, the Seattle Mariners, we talk about them as an up-and-coming team, which, by the way, hello, Mariners. But Cleveland, I had broken record here, the offense was nothing for 2 months. So I know they just called up another one of their top pitching prospects, and they're not dead yet because nothing is alive in the Central. If the Cleveland Guardians rip off a 9-game winner, and we're still at that point of the season where something like that's going to happen. Last time we all talked ball, none of us would have picked the Reds to go on a 10-game winner, but here we are.
They're already locked in. I mean, they got Oakland, Milwaukee.
So they're about to flip.
Kansas City.
Oh, shoot.
That's their next 3. Then the Cubs, who can give them a fight. Braves, that'll be tough. Then Kansas City again. So, yeah, they're about to flip.
Chris Rose.
That's awesome for Rosie.
They need to go 53-37 to hit their under.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to get our over on them, but they're about to flip.
go in hot into the All-Star break and you make that number a little more realistic. But we can say that for everything. So
Yeah.
I'll stop.
Yeah. All right. The Astros are a big one. Astros are a big one.
Oh, yeah. That was a high number.
Houston.
Tough to bet against them.
It is. Why can't I find them? I don't know my alphabet.
We
all
at
went at 95 and a
half.
half. Yeah.
And we all went over.
It's basically, are we going to bet against them? Now, I still think they can hit that. Like, if there's a team that I still think can get healthy and go on a tear.
They
need to go 56 and 32 to hit that over.
I mean, I do think they can. Would I bet on it? No, but I think that's one of the ones we might see. They're on pace for 87. They need to get 96. It's a little bit of a hole, but
they won 106 last year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get Jordan back.
That'd be nice. Ooh, the Dodgers, same vein. What are they on? It just had to be so high. Or no, it's 95 and a half, same, and they're on pace for 88. So again, another team that I don't know. They have some bigger holes this year. It's like a different lineup and interesting, but they also have a lot of good.
The lineup hasn't really been the problem. It's been the bullpen, and they're going to address it, but how quickly will they address it? And then is that going to be enough for us to overcome? Again, they're about the same as the Astros, and they need to go 56 and 33 for us to hit our over. We talked about this a little bit yesterday, but Vegas still has them as the NL West favorite, even though they're sitting behind the Giants, even though they're sitting behind the Diamondbacks. They think some magic is still there, and they are the Dodgers, and they do have two MVP candidates sitting in their lineup right now, and the front runner for NL Cy Young in Kershaw. So they have the guys. They need to address the bullpen and figure out what they're going to do there, which a lot of teams have to. That's why I'm so interested in this trade deadline, because there are so many teams that I feel like are, or at least think that they're going to be in it, and they need to make these moves. And like the reliever pool is where most teams go first. So who's going to get them?
And with the Dodgers, there's still names back there that have done it for them that, like we're saying, in 2 weeks, you could look up and say, wow, the Dodgers bullpen had the best 2 weeks in baseball, and they're back. Brewstar turned it on, and Evan Phillips and those guys. That problem feels solvable.
What about
the West is so good though?
What about the Red Sox just trade Kenley back to the Dodgers?
They're in it. That's what I'm saying. Like there's so many teams.
Well, they get something that helps them.
Yeah.
A starter. Kike. They need infield help. Their infield defense is terrible. I don't know if Kike is going to help them that much. And then put him at short. Put him at second. And then Kenley. Dodgers reunite. They get Hull, and the Red Sox get Stone in the starter. Wow. GM.
You just did it.
It's like Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Did we talk about the Red Sox? Because we all had them over.
Yeah, and they're over. And the Twins. The Twins are also... I need the Twins to right our wrong. Jake said no one's alive in the Central, Trev. And they are close. They're not like terribly under. We said over for them. And what the hell's going on?
All the Central teams are the closest to flip-flop. That's... And this is our bad. We should have mentioned it to Dalton. There should have been like a 5 closest teams to flip flop, and I think most of them are the Central, like the Twins, Brewers, a couple other ball clubs. Like their over under is not decided by any means.
Yeah,
the Twins need a hit. That's like plain and simple. Like they got to go. No, you want to join the team?
Oh, I thought you were reading from my analytics binder there.
No, like literally their offense just hasn't showed up. It's not good. And Buck needs to find his way. And they're not a team that's going to make a lot of moves because they have what are they going to do? Like they have their big names like Buck and Correa have to hit. And Correa had a little moment here where he was getting it going, and I'm banking on him to do that. Those two guys have to go. And then everybody else in that lineup, Like Polanco has to come back and do his thing. Everybody else in the lineup they like the young guys that they have, like they're gonna lean on those guys and the Kirilloffs and the Julians and
Yeah, they haven't been injured. The Twins, the lineup, they have some pitchers.
Buck has been out, and they've had some injuries, around, but it's been just the offense. Like the bullpen they've had like
I was talking about the
rotating
offense.
cast of people that have gotten the job done. Starters have obviously been excellent all year long. So really it's just them waiting on the offense to come around. And I don't think they have like prospects that they want to trade to go after some kind of bat this year. So I think they're going to stand pat, like maybe some minor moves, but
Kepler.
no crazy reinforcements. Yeah. Maybe they deal Kepler and they bring up this guy Wallner that they have at AAA. He's like, I call him the Minnesota Moose, this big old dude. But yeah, largely it's just them waiting for the offense to click. Maybe I need to get down in the cage and help out a little bit.
Jim, find the punch into your trade machine over there for Kepler, because last episode we decided he's going to get traded. So while you do that, I'll tell the people about bird dogs. The main point that we want to get home is bird dogs make me look good. And sometimes that can be tough. I got these meaty legs, but with their slimmer fit through the thigh, you look truly sculpted. Bird dogs, they became my official travel clothes. Going to Nashville Friday, weren't bird dogging it the whole way down there. And man, their fabric, comfy, looks good, and the anti-stink sweat, Trev. That's important for a fella like me, especially when you're traveling. Bird dogs, I wear them literally in every situation. Work, play, travel, dance, theater, art. Go to birddogs.com/talkin. Get a free Yeti-style tumbler. Keep your legs comfy. Keep your drinks comfy. Birddogs.com/talkin. Trev?
I noticed something on my bird dog shorts that I hadn't noticed before. I went golfing yesterday, and I thought the shorts they sent out were like workout shorts, and they are workout shorts. They have a lining, and they're very comfortable, and you can do that. There's a belt loop on them.
Yeah.
I wore them golfing. You have to, tuck your shirt in, wear a belt, all that stuff. I'm wearing the comfiest shorts on the course. You jabronis are wearing these like non-comfy shorts. I have the best shorts on because I have bird dogs on. And guess what? I only played 9, but I got a birdie in my bird dogs. Just one birdie.
You think Kepler's going to get traded?
Well, he has a team option for $10 million. The consensus is they're probably not going to pick that up. So,
but he's not.
You either just
he hasn't been
keep
good.
him. No, he hasn't. But teams have wanted this guy, and he's a classic change of scenery type player.
Then the Yankees. Who's going to take?
Yeah, Yankees have wanted him. The Rays have wanted him.
That's so sad. Because it's the Yankees. They need outfield help, and they love trading for people that don't provide that. So,
well, he's a great defender in right field.
Well,
so
he would have to play left field. He would have to play left field.
He'd be a great defender in left field.
That's all right. I mean, yeah, I'd like more pop, and not a 1-2-3 slash line. We're kind of looking for those.
You guys had that,
3,
didn't
4,
you? And
5s.
Aaron Hicks.
We had that in Hicks. He left.
Joey Gallo.
Yeah.
Coaching matters. Next.
Next up, if we want to stay on this, the all incorrect, you got Toronto and St. Louis is a huge one. We don't have to spend time on it, but we all took the over on them, and they're on pace to win 67 games. Like, that's a lock wrong.
That's an L.
On the sheet, we have some of the notes from that episode, and Jake says the Cardinals will have a big trade this year, and they might
be right there.
Yeah, the other way.
Going the other way.
Yeah, they got a lot. Yeah.
They were my sleeper Shohei team. Not looking great.
What about the Blue Jays? We all said the Blue Jays over. It was 91.5. They're on pace for 88. Another team that's very close. This is up in the air. Do you guys think they'll win back? They get up to 88. They get up to 91. If they get up to 91, they're in the postseason. I mean, they can. Kind of a team I don't understand why they're not.
Yeah, I like this team. I got to see him up close and personal a few different times. I worked a couple different series for them, and they're just. I like the offense. Like it seems like they play good defense, and like they have the starters. I mean, maybe it's maybe some bullpen stuff, but they have decent enough guys back there. I don't get it either. I'm not really sure. Every time I watch them play, I'm very impressed with them. And like if you just look at the roster, like it's pretty impressive. And like Manoah not being great, obviously isn't great for their team, but like their other pitchers have been fine. It's an interesting dynamic. I don't get it.
They play. I think we're too far into it. Like their next series is against Oakland. I think if they sweep that, they're back to on pace to get there. So
yeah, it's true. Come on, Oakland. All right, you guys want to brag about your lone wolves? Jake, you got Philly, San Diego, and San Francisco. Are any of your lone wolves locks? Philly, San Diego, San Francisco that you are excited about? You want to tell the people how smart you are?
No, I mean Philly is a question mark. If we did this a week ago, they would have been more of a lock. They're starting to go. Their over/under was 88.5. They're currently on pace for 84. So, it feels like they've just hit their rhythm a little bit. Their starting pitching got going. That I don't know. Again, I think for me it turns into how much do they care about the regular season, and they obviously do to a degree. But this is a team that rode a wild card last year.
Yeah, Harper did try to change that. He came out publicly and said, like, that's bullshit.
My San Diego under, I don't want to say is close to a lock, but their regular season over-under is 93.5, which it seems they're on pace for 77. So that seems like a very difficult one for them to turn on.
San Diego?
San Diego. And then the Giants, they're now on pace for 91, but they're on an incredible hot streak right now that skews their books a little bit. So I guess if I had to brag about one of my lone wolves, it would be the Padres, which it's funny, my thinking for them in Philly were very much the same. It was like, well, I think these teams know they're good. There's a lot of playoff spots that if they don't win the division, I don't think the locker room cares at all.
Yeah.
They've been disappointing though. I had them as my NL West winner. And they just haven't gone. I don't know. Soto's been great. What do you think about that Papi thing? Him coming out and saying like he's a fool for turning down $440 million. In hindsight, I guess I can see it, but did you think that was a little like pointed and
I don't know. Need to do that? I don't know. I don't know the context of how it was said. It's just a quote, so I always hate trying to react off that. But I think when Soto signs his deal, you'll very clearly at that point know if he was a fool or if he was smart. And let's just wait.
He's like going off right now.
Papi?
Soto.
No.
Oh, Soto. Yeah, he took a shit in the middle of the inning. I had to wait for him. That's how you know you're waiting.
Yeah. It's when you're feeling good.
You ever get caught in the bathroom mid-inning, Trev? People have to wait for you?
I don't know. Nothing crazy.
Nothing
Maybe
like that?
A little bit. You know, if you're a position player, you have some time. The pitch clock has changed that a little bit. Yeah. Now there's 2 minutes between innings. So you kind of have to hurry up a bit there. When I was playing, obviously I'm an old baseball player with an old baseball brain. Mm-hmm. You could have just told the pitcher, hey, just hold on a little bit.
Yeah.
Soto's going to clear that number.
You think so?
Yeah, it's just Papi giving a quote.
Do you think
Judge got 360 and he was 30 years old? Tatis hits free agency. He'll be 26.
Soto.
Yeah. Hits free agency at 26, so that's 4 more years
of
contract.
Free agency at 26.
What did Bogarts get?
That's the whole thing.
What did Bogarts get?
Bogarts got 300, right? And he was 30, 31.
And that's 26 for Soto?
So,
yeah. Yeah, I think he's going to get
bona fide Hall of Famer. Whose tools...
Bogarts' contract is $280 over 11.
Sorry, Xander. His tools are going to
translate. You gave him more money. Don't apologize.
His tools are going to translate as he ages, power and OBP. So he's going to clear that. And especially the number Trev's Ohtani puts up this year. Ooh. Break the game. Break the game.
I'll talk about my lone wolf corrects.
Yeah. Let's hear how smart you are.
Well, 3 of them, I was just like, these teams just aren't good. Colorado, Oakland, and Washington.
Wow.
You guys were...
Wait, why did I not have Oakland?
Yeah, you guys were like a little more. The number was
Tough.
very
Oh,
low.
it's 60.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's tough to do.
Oh my
And they're on pace for
God.
40.99. So I guess 41. I'll round up.
That's crazy.
That was my thinking. These teams are just bad, and they care about draft picks, and they don't care about this season. Although I said the Nationals will be fun to watch. There's exciting players, and they do have exciting players on that team. I think, are they close?
Nats have to be close. I feel like
Well, they're
achieved
right
this
on
year.
it. They're right on. They're
Oh, excuse me. I took the over on that team because I said they are exciting.
yes, and they're on pace to hit the over by decimals.
One game. Yes.
So-
I said this is an exciting
Exactly.
team.
That
They
one
have
might be
some
tight.
players.
That one might be tight. Yeah, we
Yeah.
might be getting that one back. on
Trade
you.
Jamer
trade,
Candelario.
And then the Yankees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a classic Yankee hater, apparently. So I went under. I don't know my thinking on that one. Maybe just the division was going to be better. And
Yeah, I think Jake and I, that's a little bit of like publicly we want to say over because we're Yankees fans, but we were like, roster makes
pretty
no
high
sense.
number.
2022, you took not the under when
2022, I took not the under.
Yeah, that was your official pick on the-
Yeah, not the under.
What did they win? 99 games last year. They added Rodon and were supposed to like fix shortstop, so it
Yeah, they just didn't have any outfielder. They still don't have a left fielder.
still don't.
They just don't have a left fielder.
Right.
It's wild. You had one more, Trev. You have 4 Lone Wolf, correct? You also have Colorado. We
They
didn't
were
really-
all the bad teams.
Yeah. I have the only one that's looks like it's gonna stand is the White Sox. I was the only under on the White
Snakes.
Sox. Oh, I took
Snakes
the
is a
over on the
lock.
Snakes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why did I do that? I don't know. Just because you guys both went under, but you believed in them?
I think Torey Lovello had something to do with
Pulled it
it.
over my head.
Oh, they were upset with me that we didn't have Zach Gallen
Gallen.
in the Cy Young draft. So I didn't want them to be double upset with me. So I gave them the over. So
Well, they were right on that one.
I would guess we did the pick before the Cy Young episode, but
We'll get in the tapes.
yeah,
I don't know. I thought we
Don't
did
let
this.
the truth
we did
get
this
in the
right
way,
before the
DVD.
season started. I thought.
we make these picks on TPPs.
Oh yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Well, over. I am smart. But the White
He
Sox.
loves that Gallen.
The White Sox. I took the under, and I don't
That's
know what
so
I said,
crazy.
but they're way under. They're way under.
I can't believe. Oh,
I can't. I always say they're my Titanic team, but I don't think you can talk about the Titanic
Yeah.
right now. We got a submersible that's lost that went down there.
I want to talk to you so much about that, Trev.
I just
we'll-
talked
we'll
about
do
it.
it
I was
offline.
recording morning.
Gotta
and
be
I was
some-
like, I gotta hear about this.
Got to be some good
It's-
late night Trev thoughts on that.
Like simulation bleeding into that for sure. Can I just? I need to
Sure.
get this off my chest because although I didn't. I mean, I'm on pace for 13, correct, which is tied with Jake for the most. Which is, by the way, guys, 13 for me, 13 for Jake, 12 for James. That means we're losing money here because
Yeah, but some of these, I think we're gonna be around 500 and not lose money. But
Maybe for kind of the final segment, it should be who do we think is flipping? And there's obviously some easy ones, but maybe who's our most dramatic flip?
yeah,
Let me just get yelled at real quick.
Astros or
Arizona
Dodgers?
Diamondbacks. I went under. They're going to crush it. I'm sorry. Again, same thing. I don't believe in teams that have to rely on prospects until I see the prospects. I don't follow minor league baseball. You know, I need to see these guys at the big league level. Diamondbacks have done that. The Reds, I guess I can apologize for that one. They're on a 10-game heater. But again, same thing. A lot of prospects, a lot of people coming up the other line. That's tough for me to get around. And the other one was the Rangers. I didn't believe in
Yeah.
that team. I said, I like the roster. It looks good on paper. Is it going to translate? And my gosh, I look stupid on that one. 82.5, and I took the under. And they're on pace to win 100 games right now. Everything gelled. Everything's good. Turns out Bruce Bochy is good for their team. He had a wild ejection last night. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Yeah,
yeah.
But,
it's a weird
they
one. That
are,
rule is stupid.
I don't get that rule.
They are firing right now. So those are my I'm sorry teams.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, and I think the other thing that just needs to be noted before we we kind of move on. Well, snaps for ourselves: Atlanta, Baltimore, Boston, Miami, and Tampa, all looking pretty good. Miami sweep for us is good. Their number was just low. I think it was like 72, and all of us went for that. So good on us for those. Detroit, we all have correct currently, but I think they're, again, one of those AL Central teams that can flip at any moment. And I guess we just haven't touched on it, but part of our sweeping incorrects currently are the disappointing teams in baseball. The Cardinals, the Mariners, the Mets. Like, I don't know. I think we've been doing a little bit of, it's a month in, it's a month and a half in, it's 2 months in, it's go time. These teams haven't gone at all. And, like, these are teams that had serious expectations. Mets and Padres are the offseason winners, right?
Yeah, the Padres,
Texas was 2 to kind of be fair to them.
The Padres, the Mets, I really don't understand. I don't understand why, whatever. I want Mets fans being annoyed.
I think they're annoyed.
No, I don't understand why they're not. I know it's because they're bad, but even before they were like bad, they weren't a prize jewel. Like, we've seen teams win, right? Like the Mariners, the Marlins, the Blue Jays. I feel like teams like that have an off season like the Mets had, and the first month is like, wow, exciting. I want to tune in. And like, it's just been like, they've just been like wet newspaper the whole season. Like, their sexiness level has never gone up, and it was supposed to start high.
Yeah. I don't know.
Who's the wet newspaper? I missed this.
The Mets.
Mets.
Verlander starting on the IL. That took some wind out of their sails. And yeah, I don't know. I guess it's, they won 101 games last year, and they were the story of the offseason. They, when we did the whole thing, they still did, they lost DeGrom, even though he wasn't a huge part of that. And Texas added DeGrom, which is funny because their success has kind of been outside of that. But yeah, it's just, it feels like the ship or submarine hasn't left the station yet for them. And it's almost July.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't get it. Do you think it's because they're too old? Do you think that what Trev was saying, the new rules and the pitch clock and the defensive shifts really like young, exuberant, fast baseball? And all the teams that are old are bad? Someone break it down by age.
I'm getting this up right now.
Are the Astros old? The Yankees are old. The Mets are old.
The oldest team is 30, the New York Mets, and their average age is 31.2. The Marlins are next at 30 and a half, so, outlier there. Then we have, listen to this. This is actually really good.
Who's old on the Marlins?
Padres. Oh, Joey Wendell's probably pretty old. Padres average age is 30. And the Cardinals average age is 29.8.
So the Marlins are the only outlier right now, and I think they're not real contenders.
Then it's the Braves, whose average age is 30. They're doing their thing. The Giants' average age is 30. They always have a little bit of an older roster. The Yankees are there right below them at 29.6. The Red Sox, 29.5.
So go to the youngest teams.
Okay, youngest teams right now. Who do you think the youngest team in the league is? And this one's pretty easy.
I'm worried Oakland's going to be...
Or Pirates.
Guardians. They were the youngest team in the Big East last year. The youngest team in the Big East this year. Yeah. Cincinnati Reds.
Yep.
Fire me up.
And then it goes Nationals, Pirates, Mariners, Tampa Bay. So it's kind of a mixed bag. This is not really showing us anything. Besides that the Mets are old. And
we come up with our stats. We need like innings played by players.
Yeah, because I think there's some relievers altering that.
Right, like
it needs to be like a weighted usage.
Yeah, weighted age plus.
Eno.
I gotta be honest with you guys. Right
we
now,
got one.
I've started a war with some crows in my neighborhood, and I am like not. Like, my head is on a swivel. That's why I just left.
Yeah.
Dude, you can't start a war with crows.
I know.
Birds?
Those crows are vicious.
They are, and like someone said, don't look them in the eye because they'll remember your face. I just did that.
Oh,
No way. On purpose you did that?
I did. Oh, you know what? I'm not fucking scared of crows. Okay.
You kill any gophers recently?
No, I got turf. I have artificial turf in my backyard. So they don't
So
come.
I mean,
You
how many
kill
how many
those
how many did you,
reincarnated
how many
as
did you
crows.
kill before that, and then by taking away their natural habitat, how many have you killed after that?
Well, I have a slope now. They just stay on the slope. James, do you know what a pack of tigers is called?
A pack of tigers,
Yeah.
a pita, a crash,
Streak.
I was just
Or an
some animal.
ambush.
A pack of hippos is called a crash, I believe.
I love that
Believe
one.
So
crash of hippos.
Jake, you look hot.
I do because I just put on my Shady Rays. Summer is here, and Shady Rays, they are the best in the biz for a reason. Because not only do they have world-class product that is just as good as the expensive brands, guess what? It's not, and it gets even better when you use our code TALKIN, 50% off 2+
What?
pairs of premium polarized shades. Chop it in half. That's pretty good, right? At ShadyRays.com, use code TALKIN. They were a huge part of our Blitzball battle. You might have seen some of that. And we got other big stuff coming up with Shady Rays. So they are with us. We are with them. United is our bond. Our bond is our heart. Our heart is our lock. Make sure you guys go to ShadyRays.com. Click the link in the description. Code TALKIN. 50% off 2+ pairs of premium polarized shades. Get 10.
Get 10.
Get pitted.
Dude, we all missed the Blue Jays last year. They're 92.5. They won 92. We all said over. So they fucked us.
Yeah, they did.
All right. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you guys. Enjoy the rest of the baseball.
Who's your flip-flop?
Go
Who's your
Reds.
biggest flip-flop? Houston?
Houston or the Dodgers. Probably Houston.
I'll go Guardians.
Yeah?
I'll go
I like
Guardians.
that.
Why not?
Why not them? That's what they're saying.
They're kids. Get a little momentum. Start tasting yourself.
Ew.
Ooh.
Gross.
My lock is the Cubs.
Okay. Didn't talk about them.
77.5 games. Jake and I went over. They're right now at 77.6 game pace.
Got the nod.
Here we go.
You like them.
I like their roster. I thought they were interesting, and I thought maybe they were going to add. They just have like they're in an interesting time for their franchise. And they have a guy that's leading the league in OPS right now. But they're still on pace for 77.6 wins. I don't know, man. Maybe I've lost my touch on these rosters. These new rules, man. They got me this year.
They sure did. I think the last week of the season helped us out. I don't know if we went 9 wrong. Because the Blue Jays hurt us.
Come on, Blue Jays.
Half a game? Are you kidding me? All right, yeah. I'm trying to do this math, but it's not worth it. See you guys later. Subscribe, rate, review, tell Trev he's awesome. All the good stuff like that.
Yeah.
Ooh, Rockies hit the under by 0.5, and we also all had the over on that.
Gambling.
Quick, who wins the World Series? On 3. On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Rays.
Phillies. Who'd you say, Jimmy?
We're good.